wanted to note a funny thing I did yesterday, actually last night, in the restroom, and that was measuring how far I had to angle the phone, and how the phone looked to myself when I'm looking at the camera. And right now, I don't think I'm cutting my head off. I could be wrong, truth be told, because I still don't have the exact accurate measure, but I think I'm pretty close. And if it's a total fail, then it's a total fail because there's no way of actually checking. So that was the one funny thing I did yesterday. I also got the adapter, and it's now connected to the lightning, or no, the 3.5mm earphone jack to the lightning cable. So right now, what you guys are hearing is actually still the iPhone microphone. And side note is I haven't started this early in probably 2 months, so if I look sleepy still, that's the reason why. Now I'm going to actually plug in the microphone, and you guys will be able to tell what the difference is. And now this is with the microphone plugged in, so you can tell there is a difference. I did a few tests yesterday actually on Snapchat, which means I can also talk a little quieter out in public and you guys can still hear me. Sound volume talking outside is not an issue. Obviously I look a little weird talking to my phone with the screen facing the other way is kind of weird, but I realize with just a $16.50 fix, and if you already have a microphone at home, you can easily vlog on your phone. Now, I guess today will be the ultimate test because I do have a few errands to run. I'm gonna see if the local Best Buys near me actually have a wide angle lens, and I'm guessing that any wide angle lens will work. I'm not looking to spend money on this honestly because my laptop will be arriving soon, so I'm not trying to splurge because I already have a camera at home. This is just a temporary solution, like I said a few days ago. So, but the good thing about this is that if and when I don't want to lug a camera around, say if I just want to bring one camera out just for photography, I can easily, bring this microphone and connect it to my phone, and, with one or two external or battery banks, even though I couldn't use a microphone with it because my phone either has to be plugged in, or my iPhone has to either be charging, or the microphone has to be, plugged into the phone. So it's an either or situation, but for the most part, I just have to talk a little louder when the microphone is not plugged in. So I technically can be vlogging on my phone, throughout the day, and then just throw it into iMovie to edit, because that's what I did for yesterday's video as well. Basically, bottom statement is you can vlog on your phone. You can definitely vlog on your phone. That's without a question. I used to think that was impossible, but the only person who I've seen actually vlog on the phone is Smurf WRX, and I know he did it for 1 to 2 years before he actually, I guess, made enough money to transition to using an actual, professional level camera. I don't know what he used. I don't know what he used to use after he stopped using his iPhone. He might be still using his iPhone, I don't know. I unfortunately do not watch him anymore. I know for a fact that the iPhone is what he started with to launch his successful YouTube career. I'm actually heading to Starbucks because I need a coffee. So the good thing about the New Year's and the Christmas season is that there are barely any cars on the road. Well, this road at this time of day at 8:05, there's usually not that many cars. This is the third time I've been taking this road actually, and this is the third time where other than cars coming through downtown, because I'm actually cutting through downtown. Other than cars cutting through downtown, they either disperse onto this street, which is Winchester Boulevard, or they actually cut to the right, don't come to this street, and then somehow still end up on Winchester Boulevard. I don't know downtown very well. I only cut through this part because one time the GPS led me through this section of the city, and it's a pretty straight cut road back to my house, so that's why I take it now. Also because when school's in session and when I'm going the other way, now I know around this time there's a school bus that actually, oh wait, I think I've mentioned it before. The school bus parks literally on one of the main streets and deploys a stop sign. So I have mentioned it. I just don't know if I mentioned it on YouTube or if I mentioned it only on Instagram stories. The bus comes out and literally stops traffic for 5 minutes, and the location that it does is completely not ideal. So that's why I decided to one time just check Google Maps and see if there's any other streets that I could actually use, which there is. That's why I'm taking this route now, because there are no school buses. The only problem is downtown there's like 3 stoplights within like an eighth of a mile, which makes no sense at all. On the backside, I can't wait to get my Starbucks. I was actually watching the playback just now at a red light, and the quality actually looks really good. So, as I mentioned 2 days ago, 2 days ago, I'm recording this at 1080p by 60 FPS, and my head is not cut off, but I keep on having to readjust because whenever I look away from the camera, my hand naturally just tilts back down. I don't know why, it just happens. But I did look at the videos I've filmed so far, and so far, so good. Just did mobile ordering. Starbucks is actually right behind me, but you can't see it because it's on the other side of the corner, if I'm angling this right. But like I said before, filming at 1080p by 60 FPS and then exporting in iMovie at HD or in HD quality at 1080p. I haven't watched the video from yesterday yet, but it should be pretty clear. It just kind of sucks that I don't think iMovie exports in 4K. If it's the same concept, which it should be, even if I do film in 4K, it's going to get compressed down to 1080p because that's the maximum I can export at. And if that were the case, video should be extremely crisp. But even for this, 1 minute of recording in 1080p by 60 FPS is 1 gigabyte, which means if I record 10 minutes of video, it's going to be 10 gigabytes long. So it makes no sense. But I guess it doesn't really matter because I delete the video footage anyways. I just don't know if when I delete the video, but not delete from recently deleted, will it actually clear up space? Because, and I just found this out like maybe half a year ago, that when you delete something, and this is on a computer though, if you delete something and it's in the trash and don't actually delete it, it doesn't actually open up space. Now, I could be super dumb and not know that that's the concept. I might be late to the party, but that's when I just discovered it. So, yes, I feel very dumb for not knowing that. I feel like it should be logic to some sense, to some extent, but I just didn't know. I just thought that if you were to, move in the trash, it would just miraculously open up space on your hard drive, which is clearly not the case. And I've tested it before as well. Actually, with this new laptop that I had a few days ago, I tested it out, and that is the case. So I did mobile ordering. Prep time is 5 to 8 minutes, and I just can't wait to drink it. The Starbucks is behind me, and I realized the last video clip I cut myself off again, which is starting to become really funny to me. And the bad part about filming while being sleepy still is ordering the wrong size. So I got a grande, no, not grande, sorry, I got it, see, that's what happens when I'm sleepy. I got a apparently tall salted caramel hot chocolate, and I forgot about the fact that the last time whenever I got it, I actually changed the recipe to tall and not grande, and that's because I was gonna get the chestnut praline latte, and that one I have as grande. And then, unfortunately, that drink is sold out at the store, which is completely fine because I just want something hot to drink. And I think even in the hot chocolate, I think they add like a shot of espresso, which is really funny. I read that from somewhere. I don't know if it's true or false. I'm just calling it as it is. But I changed it from chestnut praline to hot chocolate. But what I didn't read and forgot to read was the drink size. And as soon as I walked up to the place where they put the mobile ordering, I saw my cup and I saw my name on it, but the size looked wrong, and I had to double check the receipt, and it did say tall on the receipt. So that's the bad thing about getting coffee when you're still asleep, is that sometimes you misread it. Sometimes you read wrong. You think you ordered a grande, but instead you ordered a tall. So, and I think I just cut my head off again because I realized that the phone was tilted the wrong way. Anyways, gonna head home now. Have to check Best Buy to see if there's any wide angle lens that I can get because of this problem. Because if I cut my head off again, tilting the phone like this and not like this, even if I were to tilt the phone downwards to some extent, the wide angle, I'm assuming it's a 10 millimeter, it can still capture my head in the frame, even if the phone is tilted this far down. So that's kind of why it's so bad. And I think the wide angle lenses range anywhere from, I think, like 10 to maybe $30. Really, if you wanted to film with a low budget, you technically could. That's kind of what I want to prove by doing this for these 1 to 2 weeks before I move back onto the camera. Alright, here's the funny thing. So I typed in iPhone accessories, and right now, actually, hang on 1 second. You can see here that I've typed in both iPhone accessories and camera accessories. Now, when I typed in iPhone camera accessories, I'm not kidding when I say this, but 2 days ago, right? So this has always been available. And store pickup today, it doesn't really matter where. I already know Santana Row does not have it, but I'm gonna click on pickup today. Alright, that's awesome. So they have cases which I don't know why. I mean, unless you're making bank on YouTube or wherever, I'm not gonna spend $130 on. Well, no, never mind. That's the 11 Pro. So, anyways, which one was I looking at? They don't even have it. So when I looked it up 2 days ago, there was something by. Literally the brand was called Death something. I don't remember what the second word is, but it was Death and then something. I think there was one standalone lens that you could attach to the phone, but then the brand also had a few phone cases that you can actually buy along with the lens. And now I'm not seeing anything for it. And I guess after the New Year's, after Best Buy, I guess, updated their search criteria, I guess they removed the listings from the website, which means, unfortunately, I don't think I'm getting a wide angle lens, which means one errand's taken off the to-do list, but I have to go out and get lunch anyways. So I guess I'm gonna have to do my best for now. Try not to cut my head off, because the 7 Plus, there's 2 different lenses, right? The first one, or one of them's for portrait mode, and the other one's the actual camera itself. So when I'm holding the phone like this, with the lightning port facing this way, with the camera facing, or with the phone's back facing me, the camera lens that actually is filming the frame is actually the bottom one. So if I move my finger like this from the bottom up, it's the lens that's on the bottom and not on the top. And I tried this out in the restroom last night as well. The top one, which my finger is over right now, I think my finger is barely covering that lens, but then when I do this right here, can't see me at all. So I figured out that it was the bottom lens that actually records the video and gets everything in the frame and not the top one, which means if I angle the phone like this, even slightly down, the top of my head will be cut off. Now, like I said, I can't see what I'm filming right now, but this feels very weird, but I know for a fact that this angle, I'm pretty sure my whole head is in the frame. To me, it just feels really weird. If I wanted to get off Amazon, I could get some kind of cheap wide angle lens, have them do 2-day shipping to my house. But it's not worth it to me for now. I don't know if I will be daily vlogging with my phone. I don't know yet. I really do plan on, and have a strong feeling I'm going to switch back to the camera once I get my computer. But I do like the fact, and I feel like it is extremely powerful how you can film on an iPhone in general, and also edit on the iPhone itself in general as well, and be putting out vlogs every single day. That I feel is ridiculous. 15 years ago, this could not happen at all. When the first generation iPhone came out, this was not possible. I think the iMovie actually came out for the first iPhone. I don't even remember if that's remotely true or not, but I know for a fact that iMovie Mobile did come out pretty early, either when the first iPhone came out or after the first few generations of iPhones came out. That's when Apple pushed out iMovie and allowed people to edit on the iPhone. And I'm doing it right now. I already put out, I think 1 or 2 videos. This will be the 3rd or 4th one. But I just think that that's really powerful. And I think that, more people should do it. But that's if you don't want to put any visual effects in the video and only want to do straight up content, clip to clip, because that is easier. And that does make putting out content faster. Just if you don't want all the fancy stuff, then this would basically be for you. I don't know what the case is, but I was watching the playbacks again just now, and for some odd reason, when the microphone is plugged in, there's some kind of, I can't say it's low-key either because it's pretty noticeable, but there's little random pops when I'm speaking. I don't know if it's happening right now. This is literally a test as I'm filming, but I realized the 3.5mm jack to lightning adapter wasn't exactly plugged in all the way to the lightning cable. So I'm actually going to check right now if this video clip, if there's any popping, because if there is, then that's going to be a problem. I just checked, and unfortunately there is popping. But in an outside environment, if I'm in the house right now, right, I can film with the microphone unplugged, but if I'm out in an outside environment, I unfortunately have to use the microphone, otherwise you guys can't hear me as well, especially if, say, I'm on the street and there's cars driving by. I'd rather hear the pops than not being able to hear my own voice, and if there's also a lot of people around me, I'd much rather be able to hear myself with the pops, rather you guys and myself not be able to hear me over everyone else talking in the background. But what I'm going to do now is actually bring my car into the shop that I always go to, because I just remembered I, for some reason, can't put any air in my right rear tire. I don't know why. It might just be the gas station pump, but I'm running on 21 PSI at the moment, which is way too low. I looked online for NA Miatas. For some reason, some people run tires at 28 PSI. I don't know what for, but right now I'm running like 20 to 30 on all sides, except the right rear, which is running 21, which is not ideal. So I'm gonna hop in, take a quick shower, and then go to the shop. I just got the car done. I don't know what the problem was, but I came to the shop in the back in the corner, Century Automotive. We always bring our cars here, my car, the parents' car, the RX. And I don't know what he did, truth be told. He used some kind of like really thin, like loose tree branch and just kind of poked at the little stem. I forgot even what it was called. And then he used his nail to kind of poke a little bit as well, and then he told me to pull the car up to the air pump that they have. So that's what I did, and as soon as he hooked it up, it was fine. There was no air coming out of it, because the last time I went to the gas station, as soon as the nose, the little lip of the gas station pump touched the little stem, air would start coming out from the tire. And even when I squeezed on the handle, there was air coming out from the pump, but air was still coming out of the tire. So that's why I knew for a fact the tire wasn't getting air. And then this time when he did it, I didn't hear any air coming out. I only heard air going in. So I don't know what the problem was, but now it's solved. Now I'm actually running really high, but I mean, knowing this car, I'm gonna start losing air again. So now all the tires should be running about 20, 29, but the back is running 31. I already know for a fact that the rear tires will lose air much faster than the front tires will. So now that the car's done, I feel like getting a drink. I had coffee this morning, but I want to get some tea. So I'm gonna possibly get a cafe latte right now. Just got my tea. You can tell it's on the trunk. So if I were to finalize what I come here for and what I go to Super Q for, which is literally just down the street, the past 6 months, past year, I've been getting either the honey rose tea or the honey rose green tea. No, honey green tea or honey rose green tea. There we go. I've been getting either those two drinks over here at Cafe Latte, and I've been getting the almond milk tea at Super Q because I've asked many times. The almond milk tea they actually make with tea leaves, so it's not powder. The honey rose green tea that they have here, I think the flavor itself is syrup, but the tea is made from tea leaves, so it's mostly natural, kind of artificial, and I'm okay with that. As long as the tea itself is tea leaves, then I'm okay with it for the most part. And it's because I've been coming here for so many years that I trust them completely. But yeah, so that's what I come to Cafe Latte for. And hopefully the audio is not popping. The video I filmed actually back at home, one of them, the audio didn't pop. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if this is just a hit or miss, but I mean, if it works, then it works. Gonna go back home now. Don't really have anything to do for the next few hours, even though I am coming back out later for lunch, which is stupid because it's already around 10:30. So I'm gonna literally go back home for an hour and then come right back out. Maybe even back to Cupertino, which Cafe Latte is in. So I don't know. We'll see. If I had to be honest though, it's taking all of my willpower not to use my SD card reader, pop it into my A6000, film video, and then transfer the videos onto the phone. But then once again, right, I keep having to remind myself, I'm trying to show other people, mostly everyone who I see on their phones out in the public, either have a Samsung or an Apple smartphone, or just a smartphone in general, right? And everyone keeps showing themselves they can't record video, they can't do YouTube, they can't record vlogs because they don't have a DSLR camera. Well, this kind of proves otherwise, because I've already done 2 days worth of vlogs. Today will be the first official day where I do a whole vlog of the whole entire day, and I think it will work. It just needs a couple of tweaks. You need to get an adapter for an iPhone for one. But other than that, that's it. How I'm not holding my phone is I'm using my tripod that I used to use for the A6000 before I got the GorillaPod. And thankfully, the selfie stick, which I have right here, the head is actually mounted, or the head that was on here, I unscrewed it and I put it on the tripod because apparently it comes off and there's a tripod head mount, I guess, on the underneath. But that's what I did. So now it's on the tripod on my table, which is in front of me, recording this right now. In the end, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Is it time consuming? Not really. The only time consuming part is editing in iMovie. Simply speaking, technically, yes, you can do vlogs. You can make a YouTube career with an iPhone. It's just if you want to put time into it. Got lunch at Paris Baguette right here. Just got the food. Not gonna open the box because it's really hard to actually put the cover back on. I got a sausage bread, a strawberry bread, and a tiramisu tart. I know for a fact that the sausage itself won't fill me up, but the two other pastries will. And random fact, so the street that I always take, and for those of you who are in the Bay Area and who come down the South Bay often, probably know this intersection, but Cox Avenue, no, not the C-O-C-K, but C-O-X. For some reason, someone decided to name the street Cox Avenue with a C-O-X, but whatever, it is what it is. I was taking a left from Cox onto Saratoga Avenue, and there was a truck actually in front of me in the left lane, but I know my car, I know that corner, and I had a green light. So what I usually do is, when I have enough time, I usually take the apex. As I'm turning, I go to the inside lane. If there's no cars behind me, which I always check if I plan on taking the apex, I took the apex of the turn, and then I went back out wide. However, I went in a little hot, and it's not as if my rear end kicked out. My tires didn't even screech as I was going through the turn. But as I was going through the turn, there was a cyclist actually on the cement block of the other side. And as I was turning, I heard the guy call out and yell at me and calling me an asshole, which I thought was really funny because, for one, I didn't slide, I didn't drift. Two, my tires didn't even screech. If my tires screeched, then fine. You know, I went in a little hot, but my tires didn't even screech. It's not as if I went over the speed limit in the turn. Speed limit there is 25. I know for a fact I went through that turn at exactly 25, and the speed limit on Saratoga Avenue is 35 miles per hour. So it's not as if I was speeding through the turn, but for whatever reason, the guy just decided to, I guess, cuss me out when I went a little too fast through the turn, just by taking the apex and, you know, going back out. I don't know, but that just made my day. So whoever that was, thank you for cussing me out because you had no reason to. I know my car, I know that corner, so there was really no reason to call me that, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna go back home now and have lunch. Have to bring the parents' boots or shoes into a store later. But for now, I'm just gonna go home and enjoy my lunch. Well, it is absolutely no fun when you're pretty much on low fuel. I know for a fact we are going to be on low fuel by the end of today, which means have to most likely fill up when I pick my sibling up. Right now, I just went to the local FedEx because I had to print and scan a document, and now I'm headed to the shoe shop. I'm actually running a little bit late. I miscalculated the time. Got a rush there. I think I had to pick up some shoes, or the parent wanted me to bring a pair of boots that is making a squeaking sound. A little hard to imagine, but trust me, it squeaks. So doing that, and then headed to the siblings' work to pick them up. That would be the end of my day. In conclusion, it is possible to film an entire day's worth of vlog on a smartphone such as an iPhone or your Android device.